Welcome back to Breaking Borderlands. In our last episode, we wrapped up DLC 3 and took out the Ruiner. But I actually got something quite nice from the bank. Two things, actually. I found a corrosive gamma burst hyperfocus, which is fun. But what I found that's technically better is the Vanquisher. Now, it's not the greatest gun, and it's kind of a gimmick because your fire rate and damage are doubled while sliding, and it's hard to shoot while sliding, at least for me. But it also increases your slide speed, so stack it with a Snowdrift or a Toboggan, and it makes these boss runs where you have to get out to them go a little bit faster. So it's a nice something to have. Now, I just finished the storyline here in DLC 3, so I might need to back out and reload the Ruiner. Excuse me. Thank you. So let's see here. Nope, we're good. Now, I do believe I have a better way to deal with him, don't I? Yeah, I do. Ooh. I should have just backburned him from the beginning. And again, easy to get from the Agonizer 9000 and the Guts of Carnivora. But, yeah, once you find a quick and easy way to take out any boss, go ahead and run with it. So that should be a bloom. Nope, give me a lead sprinkler. So now, what's the real pain of farming this boss? You know, he didn't give you the drop he wanted, the red chest hasn't come back yet, and now we have to back out and load back in. So, what I prefer to do, unless I'm just gung-ho, you know, I really need that one piece of equipment, so I am going to do this method and reload. Bored, I was taking this boss out because, oh, he dropped something I haven't collected yet. So, what we're going to do now in this video is some boss running. And I had talked about it before in previous videos, finding waypoint-friendly bosses, like Crater's Edge here, where you don't have any combat in between. It's just getting out to the boss as fast as possible. And when it comes to boss runs, I also like to do them Schluterfied, as I would like to call it. So, that last one, I was still wearing the toboggan, which I didn't even use. I should have. But let's go ahead. Where's my Schluter? Let's go ahead and equip that. So the idea is pretty simple. Get in, take your boss out as fast as possible. Alright, and now the Schluter should take hold. Well, it really didn't that time. And you know, there's that bloom if you were looking for it. You know, but then you can collect all your iridium. And now instead of sitting through two different loading screens, what I'm gonna do instead, give me the Vanquisher, put my toboggan back on, because this isn't really a waypoint friendly boss, but you can make him one. We're gonna go to Necrotafeo, and what you're gonna do is go to Tanzania Ruins, because as soon as we get in here, now I know I said I was avoiding loading screens, this does give you double a loading screen, but once we're done him, the next loading screen will be Grave Ward. After that, it will be the Rampager. I'm just naming them randomly. You know, I could do Tyrene, I could do Troy. The ones that stink with Troy, Tyrene, the Rampager, there's immunity phases. So it's a little bit longer to sit through them, but you know, oh, you haven't gotten your King and Queen's calls yet. Or if you're on the Mayhem modes, like I've shown you how to break fast too, you haven't gotten your Vosk Death Grip. Death's Grip, however you pronounce that. And personally, even though it's awkward to use it, it is one of the better shotguns in the game, if you ask me. But it's one of those things that, especially I used to do this before I found the infinite scrap trap farm. And now, again, I know, I'm sorry I'm making you sit through another loading screen. I said we were avoiding them, but this is the fastest way to get to General Trant. So, I can't remember what his Mayhem drop is. Oh, it's the DNA. Which is an interesting weapon. I'm not going to say very effective, but interesting. Maybe someday I'll find a build for it. Honestly, this is the build for me that takes a lot of those, well, it's not so great type of guns that I enjoy using just because they're fun, and gives them a little more potency. Especially if you give them that extra radiation damage through the Gamma Burst, and then make that stronger through the Atom Bomb. Yeah, and not to mention, I also gave up a little bit of that damage boost from the green tree, just to give a shield to my companion. And that's really not necessary. The build we were running beforehand was perfectly fine, not to mention when activating our skill, getting all that extra damage. But the reason I have the Toboggan and the Vanquisher on is because you have to come through this small path to get to him. And I'm just saving what little time I can for the video. Now, when doing it this way, though, be certain. It looks like you activated it, but come up to it. I like to smack it. Just make sure you get that respawn point, because it will put you back at the door. So now, we're going to go back to the Schluter. Now, it's important to give him some time. And what I mean by that is let him get some of his ads in, and then we can take one of them out first, because what a part of the point of a boss run is world drops. So you're really looking to get that Schluter artifact working for you. Now, I didn't have it active for the Ruiner. I thought that it was one of the ones that self-activates, like the Agonizer or Grave Ward, and I was mistaken. So he should have ads that spawn in here on the side, but I'm not sure if I have to do enough damage first. I don't know. There we go. Alright, you eat one. Now the Schluter's active. But again, this is just for world drop potential. Now, if you're good at speedrunning, getting past all the ads in a level, then by all means, you know, you could throw the Agonizer in on all this if you wanted to. He's one of the best for drops and whatnot. But you can see we got that Schluter active, so Stormfront, great grenade mod. Sleeping Giant, ooh, with consecutive hits. It's not bad. There's a Face Puncher. Here's the DNA I was speaking of. The next two mags, not bad. Again, kind of a gimmick weapon. If you've used the Cutsman, then you're kind of used to what it does. But it shifts through many different elementals. Yeah. It's a nice gimmick. Let's see, Cosmic Stalker, not bad. There's an Atlas Cosmic Stalker. And the Hellwalker. But again, now you can see all of these drops. So from here, let's see if we can go first. Let's Now, the Handsome Jackpot, you could throw in the entirety of the VIP tower, but I've already shown how you can just super farm Freddy. So, to be completely honest, this is a little pointless. Just because I've already shown you ways to get around it, but this is a good way of, well, maybe one of their dedicated drops will come through. For example, I never got a Soul Render. At least not one that it was in an element I wanted or had the, anointment I was looking for. So we can easily come here to Zam and Tom at the Heart's Desire because he's another way, well, they're another waypoint friendly boss. And if you were feeling frisky, you know, speedrun or murk everything between them and the Heart, but that's a longer, more drawn out fight. We're looking for things that we can just do quickly, easily, take them all out at once. So from here, again, we might go take out the Rampager, because he's easy. You just gotta wait for all his immunity phases. More than likely, actually, next we'll probably take out Grave Ward. He's a personal favorite of mine. Usually very quick and easy to deal with. I'm gonna go with usually, though, just because nothing's ever guaranteed. But again, the main point to all of this is just, you know, as fast as you can, as many bosses as you can, because it cuts out a little bit of loading times between them all. And again, it's one of those things that, well, you know, I just got through another DLC storyline. I need just a little something different to do. It got stagnant, you know, but I don't want to put the game down just yet. I still want to play. This is a, you know, good time waster and still earn a few things legendarily wise, if at all possible. Well, sadly, I didn't get these two close enough to have the Schluter effect go off, but we still got them to drop something, and it's, again, good Iridium farm. There's a Flacker. Because all of these bosses are dropping Iridium. There's a Lob. There we go. Ooh, with consecutive hits. Alright, I'm gonna take that. So as you can see, you know, now we've got a weapon we weren't even really farming for, but it was on the list. Another thing, like, for example, you can do the same thing with named bosses. Like I had shown the miniature version of this by taking out Amok and Critchy. And the beautiful thing with doing that is, you know, they're near two waypoints that are on the same map, so you don't have to worry about except the one loading screen to get here. You know, get those two out, have a chance at whatever Amok can drop, because I'm not sure what his dedicated drop is. And then Critchy's dedicated drop of the Clairvoyance, you know? And the only reason I think that this is still a viable tactic is now that the Schluter is involved, to be completely honest. But it's just something I like to do. Kill some time, kill some enemies. Hopefully get some drops. Yeah, we'll go ahead and soul rends. Oh, and it's full auto and semi. This was nice. No element, but consecutive hits works really well with assault rifles. And when you're within range, it throws out small explosive skulls, too. So, useful for splash damage. And they hone towards near targets. So, let's go ahead and summon a mock. And then another thing, if you've got your Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, you can easily stack it with the consecutive hits and just get even more damage. But you can see how this has crowd control potential because of that. Ow. And again, if you're splash-based, it's very, very damaging. The only issue you see is if something gets within melee range, you're just blowing yourself up. And this is another one of those guns, you know, you can just fire blindly, because eventually those skulls are putting all the work. He's still alive? Where is he? Oh, he died upstairs. That's what it is. Speaking of upstairs, when it comes to this area, if you got your Schluter active, there's also a chest here. Now, it's not a red chest, so you're not guaranteed, but there we go. Got ourselves one of them. Let's see here, there's the zapper. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. There's a Flamadiddle. Cut Purse Moxie's endowment, not bad. Is that, wait, did that say it had Gamma Burst? No. There's an old god with radiation. Ooh, with radiation. I haven't found with radiation. Ah, there's another radiation. And that one's better. In my opinion. Mind you, that's my opinion, but that's why I like Amok. He has a chance to drop the old god. Yeah, I just don't like the crouching. Even though technically it makes sense. But that has bonus radiation as well. And movement speed. Now, when it comes to the old god, you just gotta remember that has better radiation resistance, though. But it always comes with a 25% elemental damage resistance. That does not count for the resistance that's on the shield. So in this case, radiation. You'd want to have something that's got the 27% instead of... Actually... Bye. But then from here, you know, again, we can head to the cemetery, see if Critchy will go ahead and drop us something. And with the Schluter active, it is very easy to have them drop anything that's world-worthy in the DLCs. So here in DLC 1, any world drop can drop from a named enemy. Nope, didn't give us nothing, and he always drops stuff down that for me. But let's continue on. First of all, I'm gonna stash that because now we can head ourselves to Eden 6 and hit Grave Ward for yet another chance at stuffs. But just for the sake of the video, because I'm still missing, let's see, the Rampager, Tyrene, and Troy. They're two close by options, and there's probably a whole bunch of named options that I'm not thinking of. But those three bosses have immunity phases. They're going to take me extra time just to take them out. So instead, we're going to come here, try and boss Grave Ward as fast as possible. Oops.
The power of the beast.
Oh, where's the hole? And another one bites the dust. Luckily for us, his loot explosion does count for just him. So yeah, that's the idea of boss running. Grab the kill stack duck. Just to grab world drops and any legendaries that we might have forgotten we needed. That's the idea. But hopefully you found this entertaining and informative. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.